Namaskaram to all. Today let's continue the lesson Human Health and Diseases. So, what is health? A state of complete physical, mental, and social well being, and not merely an absence of disease, is called health. This definition given by WHO, that is World Health Organization. Next, we discussed about some diseases, common disease in human beings. They are infectious and non-infectious. Infectious means it will spread to others. Non-infectious means it will not spread to others. So, communicable, not communicable. So, the infectious diseases spread by some pathogens, that is microbes. So, common human diseases, under that we discussed about bacterial diseases and viral diseases. Today let's continue with the fungal diseases. Fungal disease, mainly dermatomycosis, is a cutaneous infection caused by fungi belonging to the genera Trichophyton, Microsporum and Epidermophyton. So here ringworm is one of the most common fungal disease in human beings. What will happen? What are the symptoms? Appearance of dry, scaly lesions on the skin, nails and scalp are the main symptoms. Heat and moisture help these fungi to grow and makes them to thrive in skin folds. Okay. Next, ringworms of the feet is known as athlete's foot. It is caused by Tinea pedis. Next, helminthic diseases. Under this, we are going to know about two diseases, ascariasis and filariasis. Ascariasis, it is caused by ascaris. It's a monogenic parasite. Monogenic means this parasite has only one host to complete its life cycle and exhibit sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism means you can able to differentiate the male and female. So it's an endoparasite, that means it lives inside the body. Okay, wow. It's commonly called roundworm. It is transmitted through ingestion of contaminated food and water. The symptoms are abdominal pain, vomiting, headache, anemia, irritability and diarrhea. Then filariasis. It is caused by Wuchereria bondgrafti, commonly called filarial worm. It is found in the lymph vessels and lymph nodes of man. The Wuchereria bondgrafti is sexually dimorphic, viviparous, that is directly giving birth to the young one, and digenic. Digenic means it has two hosts to complete the life cycle. One is man, another one is female Culex mosquito. In the lymph glands, the juveniles develop into adults. The accumulation of the worms block the lymphatic system, resulting in the inflammation of the lymph nodes. So this causes elephantiasis. Then maintenance of personal and public hygiene. So hygiene is a set of practices performed to conserve good health. According to WHO, hygiene refers to conditions and practices that help to maintain health and prevent the spread of diseases. Personal hygiene refers to maintaining one's body clean by bathing, washing hands, trimming fingernails, wearing clean clothes, and also includes attention to keeping surfaces in the home and workplace, including toilets, bathroom facilities, clean and pathogen free. Next, basic concepts of immunology. Immunology is nothing but the study of immune system. Okay, so this system only protects an individual from various infective agents. What is immunity? The overall ability of body to fight against the disease causing microbes, that is pathogen, is called immunity. Then what is susceptibility? It is the lack of immunity. Almost all the macromolecules, example proteins, polysaccharides, nucleic acids, etc., as long as they are foreign to recipient organism, can induce immune response. Any substance capable of eliciting immune response is called an antigen. Antigen means antibody generator. So there are two broad classes of immunity response, namely innate immunity and acquired immunity. Innate immunity is the natural phenomena of resistance to infection which an individual possesses right from birth. These mechanisms are non-specific, so it is called natural immunity. There are 4 types and mechanisms of innate immunity. They are anatomical barrier, physiological barriers, phagocytic barriers, and inflammatory barriers. Skin mucous membrane comes under anatomical. Temperature, low pH, chemical mediators comes under physiological. Okay. Next, acquired immunity. The immunity that an individual acquires after birth is known as acquired immunity. It is the body's resistance to a specific pathogen, whereas innate non-specific. Okay. So specific features of acquired immunity, that is unique features, are antigen specificity, diversity, recognition of self and non-self, and immunological memory. Components of acquired immunity. There are 2 components: cell mediated immunity and antibody mediated immunity. Cell mediated immunity: when pathogens are destroyed by cells without producing antibodies, then it is known as cell mediated immunity. For example, T cells, macrophages, natural killer cells, they directly kill the pathogen, means that is comes under cell mediated immunity. Antibody mediated immunity or humoral immunity: when pathogens are destroyed by the production of antibodies, then it is known as antibody mediated immunity. B cells and T helper cells comes under this. They produce antibody to kill the pathogen. Next, types of acquired immunity: active and passive immunity. The immunological resistance developed by the organisms through the production of antibodies in their body itself is called active immunity. But the passive immunity is, it does not require the body to produce antibodies to antigens. The antibodies are introduced from outside the body into the organism. Okay, so thus passive immunity is acquired without the activation of person's immune response. Therefore, there is no memory. Whereas in active immunity, there is a memory, because it is our own immunogenic response. Next, immune response. There are 2 kinds: primary and secondary. Primary immune response occurs when a pathogen comes in contact with the immune system for the first time. During this, the immune system has to learn to recognize the antigen, produce antibody against it, and eventually produce memory lymphocytes. The primary immune response is slow and short-lived. For example, smallpox, first time, when it occurs for the first time, it is slow. Our immune response is slow. But secondary immune response occurs when a person is exposed to the same antigen again. For example, smallpox, if we are infected by smallpox again, means during this time Immunological memory has been established, and the immune system can start producing antibodies immediately. Within hours after recognition of the antigen, a new army of plasma cells are generated. Within 2 to 3 days, the antibody concentration in the blood rises steeply to reach much higher level than primary response. This is also called as booster response. So next time we will not get that disease. For example, smallpox. Right? Next, lymphoid organs. Immune system of an organism consists of several structural and functional different organs and tissues. Okay, they are based on their function, they are classified into primary or central lymphoid organs and secondary or peripheral lymphoid organs. Primary lymphoid organs: bursa fabricus of birds, bone marrow and thymus gland of mammals constitute the primary lymphoid organs, because here there is a production and early selection of lymphocytes and maturation takes place. So the lymphocytes become dedicated to a particular antigenic specificity and also immunocompetent. That's why they are comes under primary lymphoid organs. Okay, so thymus is a flat bilobed organ located behind the sternum, that is in chest region above the heart. Each lobe has lobules separated by septa. It has two compartments. One is outer compartment or outer cortex, and another one is inner compartment, that is medulla. In outer compartment, T cells are there. Here there is a hormone secretion, thymosin. Because of thymosin only T cells become mature and become immunocompetent. Thymus is most active during the neonatal, that is in childhood and pre-adolescent periods. Okay, when a child attains puberty, the thymus begins to atrophy, that is, it will degenerate. Next, bone marrow. Bone marrow is a lymphoid tissue found within the spongy portion of the bone. Bone marrow contains stem cells known as hematopoietic cells. Hematopoiesis means production of blood cells in the bone marrow. Okay, so these cells have the potential to multiply through cell division, which remain as stem cells, differentiate into B cells. Secondary or peripheral lymphoid organs. In secondary or peripheral lymphoid organs, antigen is localized so that it can be effectively exposed to mature lymphocytes. The best examples are lymph nodes, appendix, Peyer's patches of gastrointestinal tract, tonsils, adenoids. Adenoids are the glands located in the roof of the mouth. Okay, spleen, malt, galt, balt. Lymph node. Lymph node is a small bean-shaped structure and is a part of body's immune system. It is the first one to encounter the antigen that enters the tissue spaces. Lymph nodes traps, that is filters the lymphatic fluid. Here the pathogens get trapped. What is lymph? It's a clear, transparent, colorless, mobile and extracellular fluid connective tissue. Lymph node has three zones. They are cortex, paracortex and medulla. The outermost layer of the lymph node is cortex, which consists of B lymphocytes, macrophages and follicular dendritic cells. The paracortex zone is beneath the cortex, which is richly populated by T lymphocytes and interdigitating dendritic cells. The innermost zone is called medulla, which is sparsely populated by lymphocytes, but many of them are plasma cells. Next, cells of the immune system. Cells mainly, there are two kinds, A granulocytes and granulocytes. A granulocytes means no granules present in the cytoplasm, whereas in granulocytes there are granules present. A granulocytes two kinds, lymphocytes and monocytes. Granulocytes three types, neutrophil, basophil, eosinophils.